again discuss some good problems of trigonometry which is related to quadrant formula and concept of domain and range of a trigonometric function. As you know that in the previous class I have also discussed some problems and I again discussed previous concepts as like quadrant formula, and as you know that in the previous class I also discussed about the domain and range of a function. Domain means that in the previous class I said to you, domain of a function means that input of a function, that means instead of a real number which subset or how many elements of a set is possible for given function, that will be the domain of a function. While in case of range, if you discuss about range, then range means that output of a function. That means if you put all inputs in the given function, then you will get definitely it's a different value. Collection of that value give range. Now we discuss some problems which is related to domain and range further, but before it I want to discuss some good problems of trigonometry which is related to quadrant formula and maximum and minimum value of trigonometric function. After it again we go in your next concept, that means domain, and that means all those problems which is related to domain of a function and range of a function. First of all, I want to take your question number 10, class 11th mathematics. First of all, I take next example. In this problem given that if sec x plus 10x is equal to p, sec x plus 10x is equal to p, then you have to find the sec x, 10x, sin x in terms of p. Then find sec x, 10x, sin x in terms of p. First of all, before solving these problems, I want to say to you, there are mainly two processes by which you can solve this problem. But I want to discuss a smart method that you can understand so easily. As you know that in the previous class, that means in class 10th, and I think you have already discussed about in class 10th, sec square x minus 10 square x is equal to 1. Since sec square x minus 10 square x is equal to 1, that means if you want to write as a factor, then you can write sec x plus 10x into sec x minus 10x is equal to 1. As you know that sec x plus 10x is equal to p, that means you can put the value of sec x plus 10x is equal to p, that will be p times sec x minus 10x, that will be 1. So you can say that here sec x minus 10x is equal to 1 upon p. Here you get value of sec x minus 10x is equal to 1 upon p. If you suppose given equation as a first and this is the equation second, then after adding both equation, if you add both equation, that is adding equation first and second, then what do we get? Then we get sec x plus 10x is equal to p and sec x minus 10x is equal to 1 upon p. If you add, then definitely you say here 10x cancel and you finally get 2 sec x is equal to p plus 1 upon p. After taking LCM you get sec x is equal to p square plus 1 divided by 2p. It is the value of sec x. This is the value of sec x. After using formula of sin x, as you know that sec x is equal to, first of all here you have to find the value of sec x, that has already got. Now you have to find the value of also 10x. If you subtract both equation, again first of all I want to adapt this part. Similarly, if I want to subtract first, then you will get sec x plus 10x, that will be p, and sec x minus 10x, which is already given 1 upon p. If you subtract, then definitely you change its sign. Then you get sec x cancel here, and 10x 2 10x, that will be p minus 1 upon p. That will be p minus 1 upon p. Now, I want to rub this part. Here, 2 10x is equal to p minus 1 upon p. So, you can write here 10x is equal to p square minus 1 divided by 2p. It is the value of 10x. It is the value of 10x. That is, you got sec x, you have got sec x. Here, 10x is equal to p square minus 1 upon 2p. From this equation, you can also say that 1 upon cos x is equal to p square plus 1 divided by 2p. So you can also say that here cos x is equal to 2p divided by p square plus 1. That is, from this equation you get cos x is equal to 2p divided by p square plus 1, 10x is equal to p square minus 2p, and now you have to find the value of sin x. I think you can find easily sin x. You don't bother here. Firstly, I want to rub this part. As you know that if you find sin x, do you know, can you multiply its numerator and denominator by cos x? What will you get? Sin x by cos x will be 10x and cos x as a multiplication. As you know that you have already got 10x is equal to p square minus 1 divided by 2 pi. That means p square minus 1 divided by 2p into, and you have also get cos x is equal to 2p by p square plus 1. 2p by p square plus 1. So you can cancel here 2p, and finally you get sin x is equal to p square minus p square minus 1 divided by p square plus 1. This is the smart matter. Or not, you can calculate here cos x is equal to 2p by p square plus 1. Can you say here you can consider 2p as a base and p square plus 1 as a hypotenuse. After it, with the help of base and hypotenuse, you have to find the value of perpendicular, and simply 10x is equal to perpendicular by base, and sin x is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. With the help of this concept, you can find here also by another method 10x and sin x value. Now we take next example. I think you understand this concept. You have to be careful because there are many problems that will be similar patterns in your board or in your examination. There are many questions you face that will be similar pattern, and simply you have to consider this concept. Sec square x minus 10 square x is equal to 1, and if sec square x minus 10 square is equal to 1, definitely you tell sec x plus 10x into sec x minus 10x will be 1. If sec x plus 10x into sec x minus 10x is equal to 1, then you can say that sec x plus 10x is equal to 1 upon sec x minus 10x, and sec x minus 10x is equal to 1 upon sec x plus 10x. This is the simple concept. Similarly, if you want to find here, this is the first concept. Similarly, another concept which is also similar as it, and you know that cosec square x minus cot square x, that will be 1, implies that you can write it using a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So you can write it as cosec x plus cot x times cosec x minus cot x. That will be 1. So from this equation, you can also say here cosec x plus cot x is equal to 1 upon cosec x minus 10x, and cosec x minus 10x is equal to 10x, sorry, cot, by mistake I have written here, cosec x minus cot x is equal to 1 upon cosec x plus cot x. That is, you have to remember both formulae by this way. After it, everything become easy for that type problems. Now we will take the next problem. By adding, if you get sec x and 10x, then by multiplying each other and dividing each other, you will get definitely another all trigonometric function. Because if you get, for example, if you get, suppose that you get 10x and sec x. If you get 10x and sec x, then you can by sec x you can get 1 upon cos x. You can get 1 upon cos x. As you know that 10x is simply defined as sin x by cos x. If you, after finding the value of cos x, if you multiply this function, that means in 10x by cos x, then definitely cos x and cos x will be cancelled and you get sin x. If you know the value of sin x, then with the help of sin x, then you can find the value of cos x, because sin x, cos x is equal to 1 upon sin x. If you find cos x sin x, and with the help of 10x, you can also easily find the cot x, because 10x cot x is equal to 1 upon 10x. This is the simple procedure. That means whatever he asked to any value of trigonometric ratio, then there will be simple procedure. First of all, you find the value of 10x and separate sec x individually, and with the help of sec x, you have to find the value of cos x. After it, everything become very easy. Now we take next problem. In the next problem, it is given that in the second, that means 11th problem, if sec alpha is equal to x plus 1 upon 4x, here given that if sec alpha is equal to x plus 1 upon 4x, then prove that sec alpha plus tan alpha is equal to 2x or 1 upon 2x. Then so that sec x. So in this problem, it is given that sec alpha is equal to x plus 1 upon 4x. Then show that sec x plus tan x is equal to 2x और 1 upon 2x. तो ये आपको प्रूफ करना है कि sec x plus tan x का जो वैल्यू होगा ना, या तो आपका 2x होगा या 1 upon 2x होगा. Now you have to solve. There also you can solve this problem by two processes. First method will be you have to calculate it, then you get 4x square plus 1 divided by 4x. In that case, sec alpha is equal to 4x square plus 1 by 4x. Then you can consider as hypotenuse by base. In that case, 4x square plus 1 will be hypotenuse and base will be 4x. After it, with the help of base and hypotenuse, you have to find the value of perpendicular after it. So easily you can find 10x. 10x is equal to, as you know that 10x will be perpendicular by hypotenuse. After it, you have to add, then definitely you get 2x divided by or 1 upon 2x. But another process, as you know that sec square x minus tan square x is equal to 1. If sec square x minus tan square x is equal to 1, then you can find with the help of sec x tan x, because you know that sec alpha is equal to, you take alpha because x is a value. Sec alpha is equal to x upon x plus 1 upon 4x. Then after putting the value of sec alpha in this equation, you can find the value of tan alpha so easily. So you can write that implies that sec square alpha minus 1 is equal to tan square alpha so easily. After calculating, putting the value of sec alpha in this equation, you get x plus 1 upon 4x whole square minus 1, that will be tan square alpha so easily. That implies that if you manipulate it, then you can find x square plus, with the help x square plus 1 by 4x square plus 2 into x into 1 upon 4x. You can find it so easily. Minus 1, that will be tan square alpha. That will be tan square alpha. If you have to, you take all terms similar way, x square plus 1 upon 4x square, and after cancel this term, you get 2 times, by 2 you can cancel this term by 2 times, and finally you get 1 by 2 minus 1, that will be minus 1 by 2 minus 1, that will be minus 1. So you can write minus half, because 1 upon 2 minus 1 will be minus half. Finally you can write it as tan square alpha. If you want to see in this expression, then can you say that this 1 by 2 is 2 times x into 1 upon 4x? this 1 upon 2 as 2 times x into 1 upon 4x. That means, can you write this term 1 upon 2 as x square and 1 upon 4x as minus 1 upon 4x whole square, because square of any positive or negative number will be same. So you can in that case, when given that it is a real number, as you know that x is a real number, so 1 upon 4x whole square and minus 1 upon 4x square will be same, and you can write minus half as 2 times, or you can take here positive 2a times minus 1 upon 4x is equal to 10 square alpha. Here I have written 10 square alpha. Now, if you observe in the LHS part, then you can say that x square plus minus 1 upon 4 whole x square plus 2 times ab. This is a form of a plus b square. That means you can write it as a plus b. Here b will be the value of minus 1 upon 4x. That means you can put it as minus 1 upon 4 whole x square is equal to 10 square alpha. So you can say that after taking a square root on both sides, you get 10 alpha is equal to plus minus x minus 1 upon 4x. Why do we take 10 alpha is equal to plus minus x minus 4 upon x minus 1 upon 4x? Because here there are two reasons. By simple way, you can say here 10 alpha is equal to plus minus 1 plus minus x into 1 minus 4x, because here sec alpha is equal to x plus 1 upon 4x, and there is no mention x alpha lie in which quadrant. In that case, if you consider in different coordinates, then there are two possibilities. It may be first quadrant or fourth quadrant. If you go in first and fourth quadrant, then you get 10 alpha be positive or negative, because in first quadrant 10 alpha will be positive and in fourth quadrant 10 alpha will be negative. So you can say that here 10 alpha is equal to plus minus into x minus 1 upon 4x. Now here x is in denominator. Now you have to find the sec alpha plus 10 alpha is equal to 2x or 1 upon x. Now you have to add sec alpha plus 10 alpha. That is, you can write it as sec alpha plus 10 alpha is equal to x plus 1 upon 4x, x plus 1 upon 4x plus minus x minus 1 upon 4x. If you consider here firstly plus, then you get 1 upon 4x and minus 1 upon 4x will be cancelled. Then you write x plus x will be 2x. Or if you consider here negative sign, then you cancel minus plus. That means here plus minus and x and minus x will be cancelled, and minus 1 upon 4 minus plus 1 upon 4x plus 1 upon 4, that will be 2 times 1 upon 4x, that will be 1 upon 2x. So you can say that sec alpha plus 10x 10 alpha will be 2x or 1 upon 2x. It is the value of sec alpha plus 10 alpha in terms of x. Now we take next examples. I think you understand my fact. Now we take next problem, which is quietly different with this problem. Example for 12, there is a simple term is added, so I want to take this problem. It is just like example number 10. Now we take here given that sec x plus 10x is equal to 1.5. That means definitely you can say 3 by 2. Now you have to find the value of sec x, 10x and cos x, sin x. In which quadrant x lie? X किस quadrant पे lie करता है ये पूछ रहा है आपसे. चलिए, according to this problem, in this problem you have to find the value of sin x, 10x, cos x, sec x. First of all, as you know that since sec square x minus 10 square x is equal to 1, so you can write sec x plus 10x into sec x minus 10x using formula of a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. Now, after putting the value of sec x plus 10x, you get 3 by 2 into sec x minus 10x. That will be 1. That implies that sec x minus 10x is equal to 2 upon 3. This is equation first and this is equation first and this is equation second. After adding both equations, adding equation first and equation second, then we get here 10x cancelled and 2 sec x will be adding. That means simply LHS, you have to add LHS in LHS and RHS in RHS. Then you get here in the first equation 10x is positive, while in second equation 10x is negative. So simply it will be cancel each other. Finally you get sec x plus sec x, that will be 2 sec x, and RHS 3 by 2 plus 2 by 3, that will be 3 by 2 plus 2 by 3. So you can write 2 sec x is equal to 13 by 6. If you take 2 in denominator, then you get sec x is equal to 13 by 12. Here you get sec x is equal to 13 by 12. So you can say that cos x is equal to 12 by 13. 12 by 13. That is, you get cos x is equal to 1 by 12 by 13. According to this problem, you get cos x is equal to 12 by 30. Now you have to consider, if you get cos x is equal to 12 by 30, then there are two possibilities. Cos x may lie in first quadrant or fourth quadrant. There are two possibilities, in first quadrant or fourth quadrant, because if you take cos x is equal to positive, as you know that in first quadrant all positive trigonometric function, that means cos x is positive, so you can take here x in first quadrant. If you consider here in second quadrant all positive, sin cosec, in second quadrant sin cosec, in third quadrant tan cot, and fourth quadrant will be cosec positive. Here cos x is positive, so you can consider also in fourth quadrant. As you know that if you consider in first quadrant, then everything become positive, because in first quadrant each and every term will be positive. If you consider in fourth quadrant, what does here exist? First of all, now we want to also another trigonometric function with the help of equation first and equation second. After it, I can recognize in which quadrant x lies. Since sec x plus 10x is equal to 3 by 2 and sec x minus 10x is equal to 2 by 3, after subtracting equation second from equation first, then you get 2 10x is equal to 3 by 2 minus 2 by 3. That means 3 3 9 में से 4 गया. That will be 2 times 10x is equal to 5 by 6. So 10x is equal to 5 by 12. Here you get 10x is also 5 by 12. If you multiply cos by cos x in this equation, then you get 10x into cos x will be sin x, because 10x is equal to sin x by cos x. Here cos x cancel, then you get sin x, and if you multiply to each other, then you get 5 by 12 into 12 by 30. Then you cancel here 12 and 12, you get 5 by 30. Then you observe here sin x will be 5 by 30. Now can you say here, because here sin x and cos x both positive, there is no any quadrant other than first in which sin x and cos x both positive simultaneously. So you can say that here x lies in first quadrant. In which quadrant? first quadrant. Here x lies in first quadrant. I think you understand the procedure to solve this problem. Now we take next problem. Next problem is very easy. Further, I want to give you hint. Example 13. In this problem, given that if 5 sin x is equal to 3, find sec x minus 10x. Find sec x minus 10x divided by sec x plus 10x. Sec x plus 10x. I think this is very simple because sec x minus 10x divided by sec x plus 10x is equal to 1. Because this is very simple because with the help of this equation you can find sin x is equal to 3 by 5. If you know value of sin x is equal to 3 by 5, then you can find with the help, as you know that 3 as perpendicular and 5 behaves as hypotenuse. In that case you can find easily base. If you find base, then you can find sec x so easily as well as 10x. After putting the value of sec x and 10x and sec x plus 10x, finally you got answer it. So I leave it. Now we take example 14. In this problem given that 10 square pi by 3, 10 square pi by 3 plus 2 cos square pi by 4 plus 3 sec square pi by 6 plus 4 cos square pi by 2. This is very simple problem. You have already done all these type problems in class 10th. There are simple difference. In the class 10th you have take at the place of radian use in degree, but in this problem here each and every point it has used only radian. I think this is very simple. After putting the value of pi radian, here pi by 3. As you know that I have give you two notation to represent radian. There is first notation you have to write at the place of degree, at the place of power only c that represents in radian, and another way is very simple. You have to write nothing. You have to write nothing. If you do not write nothing, then in that case it definitely represents radian. So as you know that pi by 3 means that 60 degree, and 60 degree, as you know that 60 is equal to root 3 by root 3. So you can say that root 3 whole square plus 2 times cos square pi by 4. As you know that pi by 4 represents 1 upon root 2. After squaring 1 upon root 2, you get 1 upon 2. So you can say 2 times 1 upon 2 plus 3 times. Here sec square pi by 6. Do you know what is pi by 6? Pi by 6 simply 30 degree, and it is sec 30. Sec 30, that means reciprocal of cos 30. Cos 30, that means sin 60, that means 2 by root 3 whole square. So you can write 2 by root 3 whole square plus 4 into cos square pi by 2 means that, as you know that cos pi by 2 will be 0. So you can write 4 times 0 whole square. After calculating it, you get 3 plus 2 to cancel and root 3 whole square, that means 3 cancel, finally you get 4. So 3 plus 1 plus 4 plus 0, finally you get 4 plus 3 7 plus 1 8. It is the final answer of this question. I think this is very simple, only there is differ radian and degree. Now we take next example. In the next example, it is given that find the value of following. You have to find the value of, in this problem given that example 15, find the value of following. You follow first example 10 19 pi by 3. 10 19 pi by 3. I want to give you concept. How can you find the value of 10 19 pi by 3? After putting the value of pi, you get 60. That means 1140 degree. This gives 1140 degree. You have to find the value. In the previous class, in class 10th, you have take idea to find the value of 30, 60 degree, 90 degree, 45 degree with the help of trigonometric concept. That means geometry. With the help of geometry, you can show that value of any trigonometric function of 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree, etc. But you have to find the value of 19 pi by 3, which is equal to 1240 degree. Then how can you solve it problem? This is very simple. First of all, you have to convert this angle with the help of 12 pi plus theta formula in that angle which lie between 0 to 360. Now there arises how can you consider about this problem? How can you this problem convert into that angle which lies in 0 to 360? This is very simple. First of all, you have to divide by 3 in 19 pi. This is the procedure to consider about this problem. After dividing, you get definitely 6 pi. And you get in denominator, if you get by 3, divide by 3, then you get 6 pi and you get in the remainder pi. In that case, here remainder is pi. That is, you can write this formula as this angle as 2 into 3 pi plus pi by 3. Pi by 3. How can you write it? Simple, it is very simple. As you know that after multiplication you get 18 pi plus pi, 19 pi by 3, because here denominator is 3. This is very simple. As you know that if you take here 18 pi, 19 pi, then it behaves as dividend, and dividend is equal to quotient into division. That means 3 into 16 pi plus pi, and here 19 pi is equal to 3 into 6 pi. Now in this problem 19 pi by 3, after dividing on both sides, here 3 cancel and you get in a remainder pi by 3. So you can convert 19 pi by 3 is equal to 6 pi plus pi by 3. But you can't solve each and every problem by this concept. Sometimes it goes near to this angle. In that case you have to go near. That means suppose that you get 5 pi. Suppose that you get 5 pi. Then in this case you can't convert. In this case, you suppose that you get 5 pi plus pi by 3. In that case, you can't convert into 2 and pi, because it is very simple. It is like this formula: 10, 2 and pi plus theta. As you know that 10, 2 and pi plus theta, not for tan. For any trigonometric angle, you can say that 10, 2 and pi plus theta will be tan theta. This is very simple. For sine, it will be sine theta. For cos, it will be cos theta. But if here you get odd number, then in that case you can't convert it as. Then in this case, what can you do? Then you have to find it as, you have to express this angle 4 pi plus pi by 3, and you have to take pi in this angle, and you have to consider it as 4 pi plus 4 pi by 3. Then you have to first of all apply by this formula. After it you get this angle, and after it you can consider 4 pi by 3 is as pi plus pi by 3, and again you have to use for any trigonometric function pi plus theta. After it you can, so simple way you have to you can find it. Now but here it is just like 12 pi plus theta, and as you know that 10 2 and pi plus theta is equal to 10 theta, so you can write it as 10 pi by 3. As you know that 10 pi by 3 is equal to root 3, so its value will be root 3. I think this is very simple. Now we take next problem. The next question, it is given that question second, you have to find the value of sine minus 11 pi by 3. Sine minus 11 pi by 3. As you know that this is negative angle. Now there arises a simple question: how can you find the value of negative value of negative trigonometric angle. There are two procedures. First way, you can take it always negative and you have to proceed after it, you definitely get a required angle. But I think this create definitely, or you face definitely sometimes problem by taking negative inner part of this function. So I think you have to take out of this function. Can you take out of this function? Then you have to formula sin minus theta is equal to minus sin theta. So you can write it as minus sin 11 pi by 3. I think one of the first one done has removed. Now you have to convert it as sum of, that means as a sum of angles, in which first angle will be maybe pi by 3, pi by 2, 2 pi by 3, 2 pi by 3. This is the all angle, sum of this angle, pi plus theta maybe, yeah, minus theta, pi by 2 plus theta maybe, pi plus minus theta, or 2 pi plus minus theta, or that means 2 pi plus minus theta. Maybe you have to convert this angle at this form. But as you know that there are also another form, that will be, you can 2 pi in multiple times, that means n times 2 pi plus minus theta. This is also a standard formula, so you have to consider. So you can convert any one of the way. Now I want to convert, after dividing it, you definitely get 3 times, then you get 9 pi, then you can find 2 pi. Now you can write it sin 3 pi plus 2 pi by 3, because after adding you get definitely 11 pi by 3. Now here you can say that there is no any formula for even number, odd number, because it can't express as 2 and pi, because here there is given odd number. So you have to remove pi from this, and that pi is added in this term. You can write it is again minus sin 2 pi plus 2 pi by 3. Suppose that one time pi plus 2 pi theta is behave as theta. Suppose that this is as theta. Then you can say that sin 2 pi plus theta, in that case sin 2 pi plus theta will be sin theta. So you can write minus sin theta, that means sin pi plus 2 pi by 3. How do we write? You have to consider here. Simply you have to suppose this angle as theta. In that case you can say that here sin 2 pi plus theta is equal to sin theta. Here you have to suppose pi plus 2 pi by 3 is just like a theta. So you can suppose after putting the formula sin 2 pi plus theta is equal to sin theta, and you have already supposed theta is equal to pi plus 2 pi by 3. So you can write sin 2 pi plus 2 pi by 3 is equal to minus sin pi plus 2 pi by 3. Now firstly rub this part. Now can you write it as minus sin pi plus theta will be what? Sin pi plus theta is equal to what? As you know that it lies in third quadrant, and in third quadrant tan and cot are positive and other all trigonometric functions are negative. So you can write minus times minus sin 2 by 3. Sin 2 pi by 3. Why we take minus sign? Because minus sign due to third quadrant, and here I have used similar sign and sign. Why? Because pi is even multiple of pi by 2 according to previous classes, that means previous video. So after multiplying each other you can say that here sin 2 pi by 3. But there is again problem. What is your problem? As you know that you don't know value of 2 pi by 3, because 2 pi by 3 is 120 degree and you don't remember this formula. You didn't remember this formula, value of this angle. Then you have to again convert into that angle which lies between 0 to 90 degree. That means 0 degree, from 0 degree to pi by 2 degree. In that case, can you write this angle pi minus pi by 3? If you convert 2 pi by 3 as pi minus pi by 3, then you know that what is the value of sin pi minus theta? It lies in second quadrant, in which sin and cosec will be positive and other all trigonometric function will be negative. So you can write it as sin pi by 3. As you know that sin pi by 3 is equal to root 3 by 2. So you can write its value will be root 3 by 2. I think this is the process. You have to consider always this way. After it, everything become okay. This is very simple problem. Only you have to remember some standard formula. After it, I think if anyone give you find the value of any trigonometric angle for sine, cosec, tan, any value, then you can solve so easily. But it may sometimes take or it may go a long process, but it becomes very easy. If you have remembered already formula of quadrant, then quadrant formula, then it becomes very easy. Now we take next problem. Now I take next problem. In the next problem, it is given that you have to find the value of cot minus 15 pi by 4. In third, you have to find the value of cot minus 15 pi by 4. Now you have to find the value of this trigonometric function. How can you find the value of this trigonometric function? First of all, you have to take negative sign out of this trigonometric function. Do you know what is the value of cot minus theta? After removing minus from angle, then you can write, as you know that cot minus theta is equal to minus cot theta. Cot minus theta is equal to minus cot theta. So you can write it as minus cot 15 pi by 3. First of all, you have removed negative sign from this angle. Now it becomes very easy. How can you solve? After it, you have to divide by 4 in 15 pi. After dividing, you get 3 pi. 12 pi. You get definitely remember here 3 pi. So you can write it as you know that from this expression, 15 pi is dividend, 3 pi is quotient and 4 is division and 3 pi is remainder. So you can write dividend is equal to 4 times 3 pi. That means division into quotient plus remainder. You have to find the value of 15 by 4. So you have to divide on both sides by 4. Then you get 15 pi by 4 is equal to 3 pi plus 3 pi by 4. So you can write it as minus cot 3 pi plus 3 pi by 4. Now there again comes a problem. What is the problem? Here it comes in even number. Now if it is an even number, then how can you again go in next step? Now you have to find simply minus cot. If you convert it 2 pi plus 3 pi by 4. You can solve by taking this angle also, but I do not give you any problem. That helps many times writing next step. So I do not like to solve directly in case of odd number. You can solve also another process, but I always like to solve this problem. It becomes very easy for you. So I always want to give you this as this. Now, as you know that cot 2 pi plus theta is equal to, if you suppose this angle as theta, then you can say that cot 2 pi plus theta is equal to cot theta. So you can write it as a cot pi plus 3 pi by 4 minus cot pi plus 3 pi by 4. Here negative sign is already taken. Now, as you know that, what is the value of cot pi plus theta? Do you know? Cot pi plus theta, as you know that cot pi plus theta lies in, that means pi plus theta lies in third quadrant, in which cot will be positive, because in third quadrant tan and cot positive, and here pi is even multiple of pi by 2, so you can write it just cot 3 pi by 4. 3 pi by 4. As this example, as you know that 3 pi by 4 is also greater than 90 degree, which value do not remember you. So you have to again simplify this angle with the help of quadrant formula, such that this angle lie between 0 to 90 degree. That means 0 to pi by 2 radian. That becomes very easy. Minus cot It is 3 pi by 4. It can be written as pi minus pi by 4. I think you can consider by intuition, by your intuition, because it is not a very difficult step. I think if you, I have already given you by this step, but this is this is very simple. You can consider by your intuition. Now after it, minus cos pi minus theta. As you know that pi minus theta lies in second quadrant, and in second quadrant sin and cosec will be positive and other all trigonometric function will be negative. So you have to take here negative. That means you can write minus cot pi by 4. After multiplying minus minus you get positive, and here you can find the cot pi by 4. That will be cot pi by 4, and finally you get plus 1 value. This is the procedure to find all. This is the procedure to find the all trigonometric value. For any value of trigonometry, either positive, it may be positive or negative. This is the simple way to find the value to find the value of positive or negative angles for any trigonometric angle. I think you understand our concept. Now we take next example, which is expressed in degree. It is given that 16. First, I want to take first example. Find the value of following terms. First of all, cos minus 1710 degree. You have to find the value of this trigonometric function. How can you solve this value? That means this problem. This is very simple. First of all, as you know that by similar process, cos minus theta is equal to cos theta. You don't take negative as sin or tan or cot. You have to simply remove theta, because cos minus theta is equal to cos theta. So you can write it as cos 1710 degree. Now you consider it is not expressed in radian. You can express it radian. Again, you can solve by similar process. But why do you want to solve this angle by Why do you want to solve this problem with the help of radian? By degree, it is also simple. Now you consider how can you solve it. I think this is very simple, because when I want to divide whole problem when it is expressed in degree by two categories. First category, when given angle lies between 0 to 360 degree, and another when given angle lies that means when given angle is greater than 360 degree. We don't consider negative angle, because negative angle can be converted into positive angle with the help of this formula. Now, if you convert this angle by this way in positive, there exists two possibilities. It may lie between the 0 and 360, and another case where it is greater than 360. If it lies in 0 to 360 degree, then you have to simplify it by this formula: pi by 2 plus minus theta, or 3 pi by 2 plus minus theta, or 2 pi plus minus theta, or pi plus minus theta. If given angle lies between 0 to 360 degree, if it is above the value of 360, then you have to find by this way. You have to firstly divide given angle by 360 degree. After dividing 360 degree, you get 1710. If you divide by 360, then you can consider it divides 4 times, you get 0. $270 will be its radius. 270 will be its radius. As you know that it is cos, for not for a particular trigonometric ratio, it becomes for any angle. As you know that for any trigonometric ratio, it may be sin, cos, 2 and pi plus minus theta is equal to sin or cos, like it. Maybe 10 cot, sec, cosec for any trigonometric ratio. But as you know that it becomes 2 and pi plus minus theta. Do you know it is 2 pi radian and and 2 pi radian is equal to 360 degree into n plus theta. That is, if given angle is expressed in terms of 360 times 360 degree into n plus theta, then it is also true, because both of them is true. Both of them is same. So you can solve by similar process. That is, if you want to write, you can consider it as 1710 is equal to 4 times 360. That means 4 times 360 plus 270. 4 times 360 into 270. Now there arises another problem. If this value you got ordinary, then what do you have? Very simple process. You have to take even times. If you got 3 times 360, then you have to write it as 360 times 2 plus 360. And you have to 360 adding this angle. Don't add. Simply you have to write here 360 plus 270 and suppose it as a theta. In that case, you can again use formula n times 2n pi. That means when n is even, that means n times 360 plus theta. This is a simple way to consider this problem. But here n may be any natural number. Here n may be any natural number, not a always even number. Here n may be any natural number. But here will be, because 360 is equal to 4. Here may be 2, 3, 4, because you already got 360. Now it depends only, it doesn't depend and what will be the value of n. Now after it, you know that cos 360 into n plus theta is equal to cos theta, then you can write cos 270. Now you have to find the cos 270. How can you find the value of cos 270? As you know that 270 can be written as 360 minus 90. Cos 360 minus theta will be what? Cos theta. Because it lies in fourth quadrant, and in fourth quadrant cos will be positive, cos and sec will be positive. So it will be cos 90. As you know that cos 90 is equal to 0. So its value will be 0. This is the simple way to solve this type problem. Now we take next example. I think you can solve the next example by similar process. It is also same. Now we take next example, 17. Now we take next example, 17. If sin alpha and cos alpha are the roots of x square plus bx, in this problem given that if sin alpha and cos alpha are roots of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, then find the relation between relation satisfying the by a, b and c. Then find relation between a, b and c that satisfying. How can you solve this problem? I think first of all, this is very simple. First of all, as you know that it is a quadratic equation. That means ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. As you know that it is a solution of this quadratic equation, that is roots of this quadratic equation. This is the roots of quadratic equation. That means sin alpha may be supposed as first roots and cos alpha is second root. So suppose that sin alpha is equal to alpha 1 and cos alpha is equal to beta 1. In that case, as you know that sum of roots will be negative times coefficient of x divided by constant term. So you can write, as you know that, you can write here, as we know that sin alpha and cos alpha are roots of this quadratic equation. So you can write sum of roots, that means cos alpha plus sin alpha is equal to minus b by, and product of roots, that means sin alpha into cos alpha is equal to c by. If you write it here, now as you know that also, now cos square alpha plus sin square alpha is equal to 1. As you know that cos square alpha plus sin square alpha is equal to 1. If you write it here, cos square alpha plus sin square alpha is equal to 1. Now, if you subtract on both sides to minus 2 sin alpha into cos alpha, sorry, plus, if you add on both sides plus 2 sin alpha into cos alpha, adding, you get cos square alpha plus sin square alpha plus 2 into sin alpha into cos alpha will be 1 plus 2 into sin alpha into cos alpha. You can write here. Now, as you know that in the LHS you get sin alpha plus cos alpha whole square, and in the RHS you get 1 plus 2 times sin alpha into cos alpha, and you can write 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 2 times sin alpha into cos alpha is equal to c by a. So you can write 2 into c by a. After it, as you know that sin alpha plus cos alpha is equal to minus b by a, after putting the value of minus b by a, you can write it as minus b by whole square of minus b by a, that will be 1 plus 2c by a. That implies that I want to rub this part. That implies that b square by a square is equal to 1 plus 2c by a. After taking LCM, you can see that here b square is equal to a square plus 2ca. This is the required relation between the a, b and c when cos alpha and sin alpha be the roots of ax square plus bx plus c. This is the required condition. Now we take next example. I think you understand that. Now we take next example. In the next example, it says that, example 18, it says that when x is greater than 0 and less than pi by 2, when x is greater than 0 and less than pi by 2, in that case, in that means x lies in first quadrant, then you have to find the value of x. In that case, when it is given that cos x by 1 minus sin x, cos x by 1 minus sin x plus cos x by 1 plus cos x, that will be equal to 4. It is equal to 4. Now you have to find the value of x, for which it is true that lies value of x between 0 and pi by 2. How can you solve it? It is very simple. You have to first of all, sorry, here it is sin x. Now, first of all, you have to take its LCM. You get 1 minus sin x into 1 plus sin x. You got 1 minus sin x and 1 minus sin x. After it, you can multiply. You get simply cos x times 1 plus sin x. After taking common on both sides cos x, you get 1 plus sin x plus 1 minus sin x. That will be 1, and removing sin x and sin x, you first simply got cos x into 2 divided by, as you know that 1 plus sin theta into 1 minus sin theta is equal to 1 minus sin square theta, so you can write it as here 1 minus sin square x is equal to 4. After dividing you get 2, so as you know that here you know that cos x divided by 1 minus sin square x is equal to cos square x, so you can write it as cos x by cos square x is equal to 2. After cancel by cos x each other, so you can write cos x is equal to 1 upon 2. If cos x is equal to 1 upon 2, as you know that there exist, do you know, it is a very important factor, you have to remember it. If cos x is equal to 1 upon 2, then there exist infinitely many value of x for which it satisfies. That means there exist infinitely many value of x that satisfy cos x is equal to 1 upon 2. But it says in your class, in this problem, when x lies between 0 to pi by 2. then what is the value of x for which it satisfies completely? As you know that when x is equal to pi by 3, then it gives value of cos pi by 3 is equal to 1 upon 2. This is the true concept. Now we take next problem. I think next problem is similar process. You can solve it. Now we take next problem which is similar. Before it, now we take example 19. What I say in example 19 is the equation 2 sin square x minus cos x plus 4 is equal to 0 possible. This is a very simple problem. 2 sin square x minus cos x plus 4 is equal to 0. Is it possible? As you know that domain of sin x is all real number. Is all real domain of in the previous class I have already discussed. Domain means that how many values or how many elements of real number you can put in the sin x. So simply without taking any undefined point. As you know that its domain will be all real number, but its range will be restricted. That means lies between -1 to 1. That means maybe -1 or 1, but always lies -1 to 1. That means range of trigonometric function of sin and cos is greater than -1 but less than or always 1. It is the range of sin and cos function. Now I want to solve this problem. According to this problem, I think you consider about this problem. What is say here? What does it say here? I can't understand this factor because 2 sin square x minus cos x plus 4 is equal to possible. How can you consider about this problem and how can you proceed towards solution problem? I think I want to give you a simple problem. If I want to ask to you for x belongs to real number, if x belongs to real number, then is it possible? Is it possible? X square plus 2 is equal to 0. Is it possible? Then you will definitely tell here, no, that is not possible. How do you consider about this problem? It is not possible. Because you know, for any real number, if you square any real number, you get always greater than or equal to 0 because it is basic definition of a real number. I have already told in previous classes the actual definition of real number, a square of collection of all those numbers whose square will be positive. Positive means that greater than or equal to 0, maybe 0, then it will be including 0. You can say that whose square will be positive including 0 is called real number. That means definitely you can say here that x square is equal to 1. X square is always greater than or equal to 0. If x square is greater than or equal to 0, and you have to add in LHS greater than or equal to 0, you have to add 2 in greater than or equal to 0, then definitely you get always greater than or equal to 2. Then how can you say it is equal to 0? For there does not exist any value of x for which it satisfies completely. Because as you know that x square is always greater than or equal to 0. If you take x square is always greater than 0, then in LHS part you will get definitely greater than or equal to 2. And it is given that in RHS is equal to 0. How can it be possible? Because it is always greater than or equal to 2 and it is 0. That means there does not exist any value of x for which it satisfies. That means now similar concept you have to solve this problem. Similar concept you have to apply in this problem. Now think about this problem. First of all, how can we solve it? Before solving, first of all I want to say, suppose, if you want to suppose, you can suppose 2 sin square x minus cos x plus 4 is equal to 0. That implies 2 times. You know that sin square x can be expressed as 1 minus cos square x minus cos x plus 4 is equal to 0. After multiplying, you get 2 minus 2 cos square x minus cos x plus 4 is equal to 0. After multiplying on both sides by negative sign, you get definitely 2 cos square x minus minus plus cos x 4 plus 2 6 after that means 4 plus 2 6 and after multiplying one again minus and then you get definitely here negative, that will be 0. Now after dividing on both sides by 2 you get cos square x plus half cos x, you have written here alpha, sorry, x minus 3 is equal to 0. It is a final expression. Now I want to rub above part of this board. As you know that, can you write as you have already studied in class 10th complete square method to solve quadratic equation. Can you solve it? Can you express this quadratic equation as complete square? After it you can write it cos x, you can write it cos square x plus 2 into 1 upon 4 into cos x plus 1 upon 2 whole square minus 3 is equal to minus 1 upon 2 whole square minus 3 is equal to 0. Now you consider how can it be possible, because it is cos square x 2 times 1 upon 2, that means it is equal to 1 upon 2 cos x, and here 1 upon 2 square added and minus 1 upon 2 square added, that means both of each other cancel out, so finally you write minus 3. This is the way to write or express in terms of a complete square method. After it you get whole this expression as cos x plus half whole square, and this value will be minus 1 upon 4 minus 3 is equal to 0. That means it can be written as cos x plus half whole square minus 13 by 4 is equal to 0. 13 by 4 is equal to 0. Now you have to consider about it. Now you have to consider about it. Cos x plus half whole square minus 13 by 4 is equal to 0. Now here you can write cos x plus half is equal to 13 by 4 plus minus, because if you take in right side you get 13 by 4, and after removing sign you get here root under 13 by 2 plus minus. Simply you take it in the right word, after you take a square, after removing the sign of power 2 on after taking on both sides 1 upon 2, then you get here in right side 1 upon 2, then its value will be root 13 by 2, and you get cos x plus half is equal to root under 13 by 2. Now if you find cos x, then you get plus minus root under 13 by 2 minus 1 upon 2. It is the value of cos x. If it is true, suppose that it is true, then you get cos x is equal to two values of cos x, in which first will be root under 13 by 2 minus half, and second will be minus root under 13 by 2 minus half. What is the value of this term? What is the value of this term? As you know that a square of root 13 will be greater than 3. Greater than 3. It will be greater than 3. It means that if you take, suppose that a square root of 13 will be greater than 3, in that case you can suppose that 3.13, suppose that it will be, suppose that simply root under 13 is greater than 3. In that case it is greater than 3. It is greater than 3. You have to remember it. it is greater than 3, and you have to divide in 3 by 2. Here it is greater than 3. If you divide in 3 by 2, then you get 1 upon 5. That means 3 by 2. That means its complete value will be greater than 3 upon 2 by 2. 3 upon 2. If it becomes greater than 3 by 2, then if you subtract 1 upon 2, then you can say that here it is greater than or equal to 1. It is greater than, not take equal to, because it is not equal to. It is always greater than 1, because root under 13 is greater than 3. If root under 13 is greater than 3, then it will be 3 by 2. But here it is not 3, it is greater than 3. If it is greater than 3, then you can say that its subtract will be greater than 1. If you want to find its value, then you can take a approx value of root under 13. After calculating, you will definitely greater than 1 its value. Similarly, you have to also calculate here. Then you get its value will be greater than again 3. That means minus 3 by 2 minus 1 upon 2. That means if you suppose that its value will be 3. In that case, 3 by 2 minus 1 upon 2. 3 by 2 minus 3 by 2 minus 1 upon 2. That will be minus 4 by 2. That will be minus 2. But it is also greater than minus 2. Why? Because it is greater than minus 3. So you can say that it is greater than minus 2. Sorry, it is less than minus 2. As you know that, but we know that. What do we know? We know that cos x always lies between minus 1 to 1. So it is not possible. So it contradicts domain of cos x. So it is not possible. This is the way to solve this type problems. Now I want to take next problem. I think you understand my concept. In the next problem, it says that for what value of x is the equation 2 cos theta is equal to x plus 1 by x possible? In this problem, it is given that for what value of x is the equation 2 cos theta is equal to x plus 1 upon x possible? In this problem, given that example 20, for what value of x 2 cos theta is equal to x plus 1 by x is possible? How can you show it 2 cos theta is equal to x plus 1 by x is possible? Or for if it is possible, first of all you have to consider, is it possible? If it is possible, then for which value of x it is possible? First of all, you have to consider about this problem. Since we know that cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 1 but less than or equal to, after multiplying on both sides by positive number 2, then that doesn't affect on inequality sign, and it simply become 2 cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 2 but less than or equal to. That implies that minus 2, that means 2 cos theta can be expressed as x plus 1 by x, greater than minus 2 and less than or equal to 2. Greater than or equal to 2 and less than or equal to 2. Now you have to split it into 2 parts. Now you have to split it into 2 parts. If you split it into 2 parts, then you get definitely, if we take first part and it will be second part, then you can say that for first part x plus 1 by x is greater than or equal to minus 2. X plus 1 by x is greater than or equal to minus 2. If you take x plus 1 by x is greater than or equal to minus 2, greater than or equal to minus 2, then you can say that x plus 1 by x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. In that case, you can say that x plus 1 upon x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. In that case, you can say that root under x plus it will be root under x plus 1 upon root under x whole square, which is greater than or equal to 0. Why do you take care of it? Because 2 can be expressed as, here it has written 2. Can you do you know 2 can be written as 1 upon root 2x into root x, sorry, 2 times root x into 1 upon root x. So you can say that it can be expressed as root under x plus 1 upon root under x whole square, because x can be expressed as root x whole square and 1 upon x is equal to 1 upon root under x whole square. So you can write it as root under x plus 1 upon root under x whole square for all greater than or equal to 0. That means, is it true for all for which value of x it is true? You can say here it is true for all value of x except 0. It is true for all value of x except 0, because at x barabar 0 it is not different. It is given that 1 upon x. At 0 it is not different. So you can say that it is true for every value of x. But if you take in right side part, then what do you consider about this problem? But I want to ask here another concept. It is always greater than or equal to 0. It is always greater than or equal to 0. But I want to ask to you, if we take its right part, then you get x plus 1 by x minus 2 is less than or equal to 0. In that case, you can write it. Similarly, 2 can be expressed at 2 times. You have to write root under x whole square plus 1 upon root under x whole square minus 2 times root under x into 1 upon root x, which is less than or equal to 0. That implies it is simply root under x minus 1 upon root under x whole square, which is less than 0. For which value of x it is true? Similarly, you can say here also it is true for every value of x except one value of x. X is equal to sorry. It is not true for any value of x except this term will be 0, because it is a positive number. It is a positive number. Whole expression is a positive number, and positive number can't be less than 0. There is a possibility it becomes 0, but other than 0 it can't be possible when whole value will be less than 0. So it is possible if root x minus 1 upon root x is equal to 0. So you can say that here root x is equal to 1 upon root x. After squaring, you get x square is equal to 1. X square is equal to 1. So x is equal to plus minus 1. From RHS, you get x is equal to plus minus 1. After x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1 from RHS. But if you consider about LHS, here x plus 1 by x is greater than or equal to 2 minus 2. After calculating, you get root under x plus 1 upon root under whole square is greater than or equal to 0. It is greater than or equal to 0. Now, algebraically, you have to consider algebraically it is true. Algebraically it is true. But do you know, if you put the value of cos theta in its place, if you put value of cos theta in its place, then it will be x plus 1 by x greater than or equal to minus 2. That means it will be, now if it true algebraically for all value of x, but here if x plus 1 by x is greater than or equal to minus 2, in that case you take definitely 2 cos theta is greater than minus 2. If 2 cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 2, I think it is true for every value of x. But you don't consider only in algebraically. You have to also consider about cosine. Here it is given trigonometric function cos theta. It is true for all value of x, but it is not true. In that case, from this condition you get x is equal to 1. It is true. But if you consider here 2 cos theta is greater than minus 2, in that case cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 1. As you know that cos theta can't be greater than, that means cos theta is greater than or equal to, cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 1. That means it is true for cos theta is greater than or equal to minus for every value of, but sorry, first of all I have written some problem. I have already written one of the, I have done mistake because here written this part and you have to written here this part, so I confused minus 2 and minus 2 here. Now you have to consider about this portion, and after it it becomes clear. As you know that you have to write firstly this part, then you can write x plus, you have to remove it. If you suppose that it is a first part and it is a second part, here it is minus 2, because cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 1. What happens here? But less than or equal to 1. It is true. Sorry, it is true. Sorry, it is true. Minus 2. It is true. I have written it true. Now, 2 cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 2. Now, do you know about it? 2 cos theta. Cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 1. But there is a simple fact you have to consider about it. There is simple fact. You have already get it is possible when x is equal to 1. By RHS you get x is equal to 1. If you go in LHS, do you know one of the important point? First of all, I want to write this part. You don't write this part because you confuse from this. So in the first part, I want to take next concept. Do you know x plus 1 by x is greater than or equal to minus 2? Is greater than or equal to minus 2. If it is greater than or equal to minus 2, then it is possible only x is equal to minus 1. Other than, I think I want to take say you, if you take x is equal to minus 1, then it is true. It will be x plus 1 by x is equal to minus 2. If you take greater than any value of minus 1, that means if you take any value of x equal to minus 1 greater than, then it can't be greater than or equal to minus 2. It always, that means it always less than or minus 2. Because suppose that you take greater than or equal to minus 1, minus 1.5. Then in this case, it will be minus 1.5 and plus. If you take 1 upon x, then it will be minus 1 upon 1.5. If you take in again numerator, then you get minus 1.5 and plus 2 by 3 and minus 3 by 2. And finally, adding we take in both negative sign, then you calculate, you get minus 13 by 6, and that will be greater than minus 2, which is greater than minus 2. But it is only possible in that case when x is equal to minus 1. That is, this equation is true for x is equal to 1 and minus 1. If it is possible, then there exists two values of x, 1 and minus 1, for which it satisfies completely. I think you understand very well. This is the second part of this problem, and this is the first part, because as you know that cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 1 and less than 1, and 2 cos theta by this process. I want to give you another method by which you can understand again. This is the first method, and I'll again discuss second method. How can you solve by second method? Can you say that 2 cos theta is equal to x plus 1 upon x? After taking LCM, you say that 2 cos theta is equal to x square plus 1 divided by x. Implies that you can say that x square minus 2x cos theta plus 1 is equal to 0. After doing cross multiplication and arranging terms, you get x square minus 2x cos theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Do you know it will be real number? Because according to question, since x belongs to real number, because it is a function whose domain will be all real number. If its domain will be all real number, because it is a trigonometric function, it is a trigonometric function, and theta, it is a cos theta, and as you know that domain of cos theta is equal to all real number, so you can say that here x belongs to all real number. If x belongs to all real number, then you can say that its roots. So since x belongs to all real number, so its discriminant is greater than or equal to 0. Why? Because as you know that in a given quadratic equation, if its root will be real number, then its discriminant will be greater than or equal to 0. So you can write here, you can write it as minus 2 cos theta into x, minus 2 cos theta into x, minus 2 cos theta into x. If x square minus 2 cos theta into x plus 1 is equal to 0, then discriminant will be greater than 0, because here x belongs to real number, its root will be real number. So if you take discriminant, then you can say that what will be the discriminant? B square minus 4ac. So you can say that b square means that 4 cos square theta, which is greater than b square minus 4ac. That means minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. So if you divide on both sides, you get cos square theta is greater than or equal to 1. If you take cos square theta is greater than or equal to 1, if you take cos square theta is greater than or equal to 1, then cos square theta is greater than 1, then as you know that if a square is greater than a square is greater than b square, then a is greater than or equal to b, or a is less than or equal to minus b. So you can say that here cos theta is greater than or equal to 1, or cos theta is less than or equal to minus b. It is the property of inequality. So you can say that cos theta is greater than or equal to 1, or cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 1. Cos theta is greater than or equal to 1, or cos theta is less than or equal to minus 1. In that case, it can't be greater than 1. It is possible cos theta is equal to 1, but it can't be greater than 1, because range of cos function will lie between minus 2 1 and minus 1 to 1. That means its maximum value will be 1 and the minimum minus 1. That means it can't exceed from 1. So cos theta will be maximum 1. It is possible, but it doesn't exceed from 1, and its minimum value minus 1. So it can't decrease from minus 1. So you can say that another value of cos theta is possible only minus 1. If cos theta is equal to minus 1 and cos theta is equal to 1, then after putting the value of 1 and minus 1 in this expression, so you can say here, I think this is simple process. So you can say here 2 into cos theta, that means 1 is equal to x plus 1 upon x, and 2 into minus 1 is equal to x minus 1 upon x plus 1 upon x. If you calculate from this, you get x barabar minus x square. If you calculate this quadratic equation, then you get x barabar 1, and from this you get x equal to minus 1. You get x equal to minus 1. This is the simple process. And for x equal to 1 and minus 1, it is 2. I think today time is over. Now in again next class I will discuss some examples and your problems, in which problem you face problems, I will discuss that problems in your next class again. And I think today your time is over. I will again discuss in next class all concepts and all that problems which is so good. And because in this chapter you will definitely face some problems because you don't understand basic concept of function and better way inequality. So there may be you face many trouble in different type problems, but I think this is very good problem. If you understand this type problem so easily, then I think you feel better, and this is good type of problem in trigonometric function. There are many problems in your book. I will again discuss in next class, taking this problem, this other problem which is same type. Thanks all of you. I will again meet in next class, in which we will discuss some again problem which is related to domain and range of a function, and your problem in which you face many problems. Thanks all of you. I will again meet you with in next class.